All right, Travis. We'll start first with Todd Lebo. Go, Todd.
Travis, you had missed this Steelers game last time out. You were on that COVID list. Can you take us through that week and what it was like to try to get back ready, and how frustrating was it to have to watch a game and just tweet about it instead of playing in it?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty frustrating time. I think that, even though I had some symptoms, it was nothing that would have ever kept me out of being in the facility practicing and then going and playing in a game. So it was pretty frustrating to not just go out there with my guys, but then once the game actually happened, I had some fun watching us, go to work, because it was we were hitting on all cylinders. When the Chiefs are hitting on all cylinders, man, we have a lot of fun doing it.
Let's go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Travis, hope you're doing well. This season has been a lot of ups and downs, and you fought through a lot of adversity, including yourself, and with the COVID and everything going on. Where do you feel that the team has learned through the adversity in this season that makes you believe that you guys are primed for another Super Bowl run? And how have you been able to take care of yourselves physically throughout this entire longer season?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time that I can remember ever playing 18, or not ever remember, but the first time we ever played 18 weeks, 17 actual games. And I think that over the past few years, being able to play in the postseason, we kind of had an understanding of what that last game was going to feel like. But at the same time, through the ups and downs of any season, Coach Reid has always done a great job at presenting us challenges week in, week out. And it's no different than this week. Playoffs are here. Everybody's got to get juiced up and motivated to, put everything aside, man. We got 5 weeks to try and, achieve the ultimate goal of winning the Super Bowl, and 1 week at a time. And this week is the Steelers to just, grind out, make sure that we got all the answers for anything that they could do.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Travis, simple question for me. This will be your 13th postseason game in your career. What do you love most about playing in postseason compared to the regular season?
Just the opportunity to keep playing the game. There's a lot of teams that won't be out there this week. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here in Kansas City and have the success that we've had over my entire 9 years in the league. I just try and take advantage of those opportunities, man, because not everybody gets them.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Travis, there was a stretch there where it seemed like, everything was going against you guys, some self-inflicted wounds. I know you guys talked about getting back to it. What did you guys do when it comes to, like, on your end, for drops or different things like that, when it just felt like the whole world was working against you? Do you work more? Do you work less? Is it one of those things that, like in baseball, they have a phrase where they say, try easier, like maybe you're overdoing it. As you look back, you guys kind of worked through that. How did you come through that stage?
Well, I think I just mentioned kind of how Coach Reid, week in, week out, keeps presenting guys with challenges. He presents the team with a challenge. When he's installing plays on the offensive side, he presents every individual with a certain challenge that week. And in terms of the drops and the mistakes, the self-inflicted wounds, that's just focus, man. It's and what are we locked in on? Are we doing stuff in practice so that we can instinctually play the game the right way? And not hurt the team. And that's really been the biggest thing, is just, where's our focus? And are we presenting, the other team with the difficulty of always trying to react to what we're doing on the offense side of the ball. And that's really where it's been all season. And like I said, Coach Reid just presents those challenges for us. And all the coaches really do that, both offensively and defensively.
Seren, did you have a follow-up? There you go. You're unmuted now.
Sorry about that, Brad. Thank you. Overall, I know you talked about the time length of the season. What about the time length of like the last 3 or 4 seasons, right? The cumulative effect of you guys, 2 Super Bowl runs, an AFC championship. You've played more games than anybody. Is the offseason enough to recharge your batteries, or is there a cumulative effect from playing this deep into the year so many times in a row?
Man, I'm just juiced up to get another week to play football, man. I don't think about any of those kind of things. At this point in the season, everybody's dealing with something, and in terms of like discomfort or injury, or just trying to power through some things that might be nagging on them. And, from there, you just got to, work through it, make sure that you stick to the fundamentals and the routines that you've had all season. Try not to fall astray to a lot of the little things that you do so that you can just go out there and fly around and have fun, man. And when you're in the playoffs, man, you don't make any excuses like what's happened in past, man. You put your head down and you just go.
Go next to Herbie Teope. Go to Herbie.
Hey, Travis, you've got a lot of records, and I know you don't really look too much at what your individual accomplishments are, but you have one that was broken this year by your teammate, Tyreek Hill, just 2 games ago. What was your reaction to him breaking your record, and how much playful joking was going on between the two of y'all when you did it?
I think I said it when he got the record that one's just, it's supposed to be held by a wide receiver. You know what I mean? The tight end, isn't always the vocal point in the offense. And I think that Tyreek has done an unbelievable job over the course of his career of taking his game to the next level. And sure enough, you see him start to not only breaking records, but setting records earlier on in his career. And he's just going to keep taking off, man. It's so fun to play with him. Can't say enough about the guy in terms of who he is on and off the field, man. One of my favorite teammates.
We got 3 more quick ones here, guys, starting with Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Travis, Coach talked about seeing Patrick grow up before his eyes. You've grown up alongside of him. He comes in here, new father, off an injury, off a disappointing loss. Have you noticed any difference this season than previous ones?
In terms of Patrick?
Yes.
Yes, in terms of Patrick and his maturity or things he does different.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is seeing just how much in terms of the load of the offense, how much we're putting on his shoulders week in, week out to understand what defenses are doing, knowing that we're getting a lot of variety of different coverages thrown at us because of how successful we've been and how hard it is to, get lined up against a Coach Reid style offense. And I think how much we put into Pat, he just keeps growing with it. And that's where the maturity comes, is the understanding of what the other side of the ball is doing and the instinctual ability to know where to go with the ball week in, week out. Pat's a tough guy. So when it comes to injuries or discomfort and stuff like that, I don't think that's ever going to slow him down. He kind of just mentally pushes through that kind of stuff and stays accountable for the guys around him.
Last 2, we'll go Vahe and then Steve. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Travis, I'll have a quick follow-up also, Brad. I just wonder if you can recall, how much did you ever block Melvin Ingram the last few years? And what kind of assignment was that when you did tangle with him? Then I'll have the follow-up, Brad.
I think it was my first 8 years playing. I had to get him at least twice a year. But, man, I'm glad he's on our team. I'll tell you that much. He just has the entire package, man. I said it when he came here, man. Anytime you add a juice man or just an ultimate competitor like him, it doesn't matter what sport you put that guy in. He's got a great feel of being a competitor and especially playing with teammates. And that's why he fit the mold so perfect when he got here. Both his energy on the field and who he is on the field in terms of playmaker. I mean, it was a perfect match, and I'm definitely glad to have him here and having to go against him twice a year.
And just the follow-up really is, do you have the feeling that we do too, that in some ways he helped reset the defense and enabled Chris to go back inside and kind of has had a pretty big ripple effect?
It's a swag champ, man. You bring a guy with that much juice and that much swagger about himself, a perennial all-star throughout his entire career. I mean, that makes everybody play better. It is, and you saw it immediately how much more fun the guys were having. I mean, not that, we weren't on that track to getting better. I do believe that we had a lot of guys that were figuring it out both offensively and defensively, and sure enough, when he came in, it's kind of like everybody started clicking even more.
Last one to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Swag champ, I love it, man. Travis, how you doing, man?
Living the dream, brother.
Hey, you guys know what the feeling was to win a Super Bowl and also to lose a Super Bowl as well. I know at the beginning of this season, some of the guys said, "Hey, we're going to use the loss in last year's Super Bowl as motivation, to get back to the Super Bowl again." Now, at this point in the season, going into the playoffs, are you guys still using that as motivation?
I mean, it's in the back of my mind. I think for the most part, it's a new year, man. You got to focus on the things that you got going on this season. How we've got to where we are and, how we can keep striving to get better every single game. But at the end of the day, that thought's always in the back of our mind that, yeah, we're on a goal to, you know, prove ourselves, you know, that we are who we think we are who we know we are. And that's Super Bowl champs, man. And that's just how you gotta roll. You can't think about it, but just know that it's in the back of your mind every time you go to work.
Travis, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, now.
All right, guys.